So Enlisted has decided to drop us the latest leaks, and in this case we have essentially what appears to be a heavily modified PPD in terms of the magazine, and a German Puma with a 75mm cannon. Of course, this video has been made possible for the friends at Discord. If you haven't liked, subscribe, or joined Discord, I highly suggest that you do, but without further ado, let's get started. One of the first things that we get in this leak is the PPD 34. This is actually a very interesting PPD 34 in the sense that the magazine, although it is a drum magazine, is curved outwards, and from what we look to have, it appears to be either having the same round or magazine as the regular PPD 34, with the exception of the mag being outwards, and that is probably the only difference. And honestly, if we're talking about cosmetics, it's only something that is cool. I honestly think there's nothing gonna be interesting, or nothing is gonna change regarding the actual weapon itself, so that's gonna be something interesting and noteworthy. On the other hand, we also do have the German Puma that is modified to carry a 75mm KWK-37 gun. This is actually officially called the SDKFZ-234/3, with SDKFZs pretty much standing for Special Operations Vehicle. And in this case, I do think this is a Special Operations Vehicle for mobile and reconnaissance, which is pretty interesting. The 75mm gun, in which I'm assuming this is going to be coming in at Tier 2, because I think this 75mm gun, although it's pretty good, it doesn't have a lot of penetration, nor does it have a lot of damage. Mostly it's going to be used against anti-infantry, which I think this thing will excel because of the speed and the fact that it has a 75mm gun. I do think this thing is going to be a little bit problematic when fighting tanks, so that's going to be an issue. The gun itself is once again pretty good against infantry, but not good against tanks, although it can penetrate around 52mm to 115mm of armor, depending on the shell you have. And assuming this is Enlisted, where we might even get heat, which is high explosive anti-tank, and that has around 115mm of penetration, with other variants of heat having 80mm of penetration, whereas the APC-BC round has only 52mm of penetration. This is thanks to the information that we have on this tank, or should I say armored fighting vehicle, from War Thunder, which is actually pretty interesting. So if you guys are interested, these two are pretty neat and pretty good additions to Enlisted. I actually think everyone is just gonna get the SDKFZ-234 because, in my personal opinion, it is a better Puma. It's faster, with the only downside of you can't move the turret, which is an interesting thing to take note of. That said, I do think this is a much better version of the Puma because, well, let's be honest, if you know how to turn the vehicle, and in my opinion, turning the vehicle is actually better on the Puma than anything else, then you're pretty much set to use this as the anti-tank/anti-infantry role, and I think this thing excels, assuming this is going to be coming in at Tier 2, so that's that. Overall, these are two latest Enlisted leaks, and I do personally think these are actually going to be worth it through the next event, and I do think the next event will be the birthday event coming in around November 10th, so in 4 days, maybe even sooner, because like usually Enlisted likes to drop events or leaks 2 days before the actual event. For example, it could even be coming tomorrow or the 8th, so that's that. Overall, this is a great addition to Enlisted. I actually am looking forward to the next event. And without further ado, have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.